Hey, Genki Call here with some tips on Arena and some of the best troops that you can take in there. I have a long list of examples in the description box below. You can check that out, but I do like to give visuals, so that's what I'm going to do right now. For this setup that I've got here, the Sand Scuttler is my tank. As long as I can get him some mana and cast, he's going to sit up here with lots of life and armor. His attack isn't the greatest, but he can sit here and protect my other troops from skull damage. Blade Dancer is good because he's going to cast, but then he's going to steal magic, and stealing magic means that this 8 scatter damage that's really not much is going to go up by 4 points. So it will go up to 12 scatter damage, and then if I'm able to cast again, it will go up again to 16 damage. So, you know, not the best troop for Arena, but it will work. Now you see I've got a problem here. I have a mana block here, complete mana block. Yellow is being used by Sand Scuttler, which is fine, but if I put Reaver here where I'd prefer to have it, then Blade Dancer is completely blocked. Now they're both useful. Reaver's going to hit 2 enemies, which is great. Nobody's going to be webbed, but hitting 2 enemies is very powerful. Anytime you can hit more than 1 enemy is going to be great. And then Sir Wulfric here, he's great because he's going to give armor to all allies. And in this setup that I have here, he's not mana blocked at all. So it doesn't matter that he's at the back of the troop. Giving 8 armor to everyone, buffing them is important. It will help your troops survive. So I'm going to show you this one battle, and then I'm going to back out and start another one. The great thing about Arena Weekend is that all of your arena fighting is free. You don't have to pay 1,000 gold to get in there. So that is very, very helpful if you're doing like I'm doing, and you're going to be backing out and going back in and backing out and going back in. So I'm going to try to get the Sand Scuttler up here. And they both use red, so taking red is really going to be the best bet right at this moment. I'd like to take this Doom Skull, but I'm not going to because otherwise he would have a free skull hit on me, and we don't want that. This is already ready to go, which is great. So now I've got this lovely tank up here, and which is good because she's about to turn all of the green gems into skulls. Now, since we have this troop in here, Apophysis is one of those troops that is empowered. She starts with full mana. If she's traded, in Arena, no troops are traded. None of them will be. You won't have the benefit of any classes, no trades. It's just the spell and these base numbers right here. So keep that in mind when you're doing Arena, that you aren't going to have any of those bonuses. So let's try to get Wulfric up here so that I can get their armor up for the whole team. This should be a really good team for Arena. I want to go ahead and take her out, otherwise she'd have match 4 there. Did I steal 4? Oh no. Who steals 4 magic? Oh, it's him. Okay. He is mana blocked, but he was mana blocked until I cast with the Sand Scuttler because it's 1 cast only. Now he is no longer mana blocked. If I match yellow, I will be able to get him full up, or if I just keep matching green right now, that will also fill him up. Oh, I'm going to use these skulls. Thank you for going after my first troop. Did you see how hard he just hit me? Boosted by the enemy's mana cost, so that's why he hit me so hard, because my mana cost is 16. So he just did 24 damage to me, so it's a good thing I was able to cast with him. I'm going to do this and take the first one out, and then this would actually be a good team to take all the way through. I think that this is a strong team, even if I were to lose the Sand Scuttler early on. Wulfric is great. Blade Dancer is going to be really helpful. if I'm able to cast him enough, but anyway, we are going to back out as soon as I finish this battle, and I will give you some more examples. And I'll go over my list as well, but first I want to finish this battle. Ha ha ha. Must finish my battle, even though it's not going to count for much, it'll count for something, so we'll go ahead and do that. You can take the skull hit there so that I can get some mana, hopefully. There's some mana. Great. We'll do this, and have Blade Dancer take that one out. So I got a little. I'll retire. I'll take my rewards, which are next to nothing. That's okay. We're going to go back into Arena here, and we're going to pick some more troops. Lord Bellinor is good because he hits 2 enemies, provided that you don't hit the bottom one. And let's see. Tezka. Yeah, I mean, she's okay. She could buff your troops, but she's not really strong as far as buffing troops goes. And then Princess Fang does, you know, just a variety of stuff. I'd say that Lord Bellinor is the best choice that we have right at the moment. Looking at something here. There we go. Wyvern poisons. Not only does he poison, he's going to hit the first 2 enemies. So that means that the Wyvern is a really good choice for Arena. He has the same colors as Lord Bellinor, but he is so much better than Lord Bellinor because he does that poison. Anything that poisons or burns in Arena is going to be super helpful for you. Winged Bison, I mean, he has a chance to summon another Winged Bison, which summons are always good, but it's only a chance, and he's a mana transformer, so not that useful, except as a meat shield, basically. And then this guy, you know, it's okay. Wyvern definitely is coming with me. We're getting lots of green here. Kelpie has a chance to devour. Not great in Arena. This is only to 1 ally. Again, it's so-so, and this would definitely be the one I would want to take. Eliminating attack is great, but look, all of these are using the same colors. Sloth is amazing in Arena. It doesn't look like a troop that you would want to bring with you ever, but he drains all mana from allies and enemies and gains that much life. That means he can sit at the back of your team and just take all of the mana and turn it into life. He turns into a tank at the back of the team if you need him. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use this team. The most valuable on this team, I would say, is the Wyvern. Because he hits 2 damage, he hits them hard. 10 damage for Arena is quite hard. And he hits 2 of them. Plus, he poisons them, the last 2 enemies. So, excellent. I think the Wyvern is a great choice for Arena. We're going to retire here. We're going to do it again. Got a little bit of gold out of that without even doing anything. Nice. Werebat. Stealing life is really nice. Lycanthropy, blah. But since he's stealing life, you're going to take this 5 life that you steal, and it's going to add to your life. So it's not just removing their life, true damage, it's actually adding to yours. So Werebat is going to be a good choice. Hellcackle, well, he gets an extra turn, so if you have skulls sitting there, you can cast him first and then grab the skulls or some more mana. That's always nice. And then Mortera is going to be a very good choice because she summons, and those summoners can be very valuable in Arena because you're going to lose troops. And I think that's why so many people dislike Arena, is because they don't like losing troops. If you're like me, you don't want to lose troops ever, and so it's upsetting when you have to lose troops. In this environment, you will lose troops. There's no getting around it. So do you go for the summoner? Do you go for the more of a tanky type thing? Personally, I'm going to go for the tank. I'm not going to play this team, I'm just showing you. Now, the Sacrificial Priest, he can be really great in a soul farming environment, but you have to have a high attack. It's scatter damage boosted by the attack of whoever you're sacrificing. So you can have 1 hit point left for a troop, sacrifice them, you're going to get the full amount of the attack added to this 12, and it can be significant damage, and it's really great for low-level explorers for soul farming. But in Arena, you know, it's alright. It's starting out, it's better than Blade Dancer, which only does 8 scatter damage starting out. So, I mean, it's okay. And it does do damage to all of the enemies, which is great. If I had chosen the one that does the summons, it would be perfect, because I could sacrifice himself and then summon in something to replace him. So that is a time when the Sacrificial Priest would be really good. Wandering Monk. I mean, stun has a 10% chance to wear off every turn. And so will you be able to get the 12 mana back in time to hit them again to do double damage? Probably not. And the Runesmith, you know, he's okay. So I would go with the Sacrificial Priest here. Envy is one of those really, really strong troops in Arena. I've been killed by him enough times to know if you see Envy, take him. And it doesn't seem like much, but boosted by enemies at full life or full mana with a ×4 boost ratio, this is significant damage. Absolutely take Envy every time you see it. I will have to add that to my list. I'm going to make a note now. Envy, because I forgot to put him on my list. And then as far as the commons go, there are some really powerful commons that you can use in Arena if you're lucky enough to get them on your list. So this guy, This one destroys a whole row and does damage to the enemy boosted by skulls that you destroy in that row. This is one of the powerful commons because it has a ×5 boost ratio. So if you get even 2 skulls in a row, in the row that you destroy, that would be 16 damage, and for Arena that is a lot of damage. So absolutely I would go with Armored Boar. This guy's okay, but Armored Boar would definitely be better. So I would go with this and something like this. And this I think would be a good setup. So let's do another. I'll give you some more examples. And Khatib. He actually is quite useful in Arena. I played with him earlier today, and 5 life and 5 attack. And if the ally's a human, give them double the effect. Well, he's a human. You can cast on him, and you can have him as a tank back in the back. You can stick him up at the front and hope that he gets mana quickly enough. Or if you have a common that you really don't care about, you can stick him in the front of the team as a shield long enough for you to get Khatib leveled or spell. But we've got Sir Wulfric here again, and this is more powerful than Khatib is because, well, I mean, he's adding armor and no attack, but it's to all allies, and I think that's more valuable personally. Gob Chomper, you know, if you're fighting goblins, great, but he will gain 5 life. If I were to choose one of these, it would not be Gob Chomper, it would be Sir Wulfric or Khatib. And I'm going to go with Khatib this time because I went with Rakshanan is one you always want to take. 6 damage boosted by their current life, so if they have 10 life, then you do an extra 5 damage because it's a 2-to-1 boost ratio. Rakshanan is very powerful in Arena, generally speaking. The Bishop is pretty nice because he's going to give an ally armor and magic, and if they're divine, he's going to double the effect. So He's good as well. Snow Guardian, 12 damage in arena is a lot. And of course, if he kills the enemy, he's going to create blue gems, which would really help Khatib here. So instead of going for Rock Shaman, I will choose Snow Guardian and only cast with him if I can do a kill, so I can get mana for Khatib, which means I don't want to use Warlock in there. He's a mana, he removes mana anyway. And say you remove 10 purple gems, then you would get an extra 5 damage for 11 total damage because of the 2-to-1 boost ratio. Hellhound, damage to a random enemy and either burn or disease them. The burn is really, really useful in arena. And then the Bugbear gets an extra turn. This is more useful when they're missing a lot of life, and that's risky. It's risky in arena to depend on that, so I would absolutely go with the one that burns here, even though I'd have to move that so that we don't have a mana block. And then, this could be, it could remove magic, it could remove armor, or attack, or health, any of those. So he summons Orion, which it takes quite a bit of mana to do it, but he does give 5 life to all allies, but considering the mana cost, maybe not. Centaur Scout, destroy a row and deal damage to the first enemy. I would go with this one because we have no mana blocks, and because also he's destroying a row, and that's going to help get mana for your team. So let's do one more, and then I'll talk about some of the things I have down in the description below. And let's go back to arena here, see if I can find anything good. Damage to an enemy, and there's no bonus here at all. It's just straight up 11 damage to an enemy, and that's it. Nothing extra like some of the others have. Grimoire, steal gold, drain mana and freeze them. Not really useful. Frostanath. This is a little more useful because he's going to do damage to all enemies and freeze 1 to 4 enemies. And freezing them will make it so they don't get extra turns. Now, Grimoire froze them too, but this does it to all of the enemies, damage to all of them, plus it could freeze all of them. Merlion is great because he silences, and he doesn't just do it to one enemy, he does it to 2 enemies, and he could hit the same enemy 2 times in a row, which would be 12 damage instead of 6. So right offhand, I would say Merlion here. Damage, deal triple if they have a death mark. How are they going to get a death mark in here? They're not. Dwarven Slayer, you're pretty much guaranteed to kill your opponent if you use the Dwarven Slayer in arena. However, he's going to die as well. So unless you have a summoner with you, you know, that's up to you. Amaru is a good choice because he does do poison, and poison does not wear off. Now, let me show you. Poison, hold on just a second. Come on, it'll loop around in just a second here. Okay, they have a 50% chance to lose life every single turn, but it doesn't wear off, which means that, you know, there's only a 50-50 chance of them losing life, but it doesn't wear off, so that is pretty cool. This guy just creates gems, and he does create red gems, which would help the Merlion, but I would rather have Amaru in this lineup personally. Mana burn, boosted by my magic. So if they have 5 mana that they've accumulated and he has a 5 magic here, that would be 10 damage. And he transforms all yellow gems to blue, which would be helpful for these guys, but I would go with Amaru for the poison. Armored Boar is here again. I would definitely pick him, which means I need to move Frostanath. I actually want him there anyway. Orc. Orc can be really good in some situations. I used him earlier today. He was super helpful because he gains that attack, and he's transforming green gems to brown. If you have other troops with you, you don't need the green and you do need the brown. plus he enrages himself, which makes him do an extra 50% attack. So he's going to gain 5 attack. That would be 10, plus half of that is another 5. So his attack would jump up to 15 with that enrage. So he can be really good at the front of your team. Brownie, destroy gems, create purple, great. Armored board, much better. So yeah, we've got some mana stuff going on here, but the way I have it set up, none of it is actually blocked. So let's talk about, let's gonna back out of here. We're gonna talk about a few of the troops that I have mentioned down in the description. Let me get down to epic, because no legendaries are going to be in arena unless you're able to summon them in, and that does happen. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things that you can be considering when you are looking at these troops in arena. And that's why I have it all in the description, so you can just have a visual, because I can only show you so much in this video. But we've got the troops that do damage to all enemies, such as Atlanta, she's going to do damage to all enemies. Of course, not this much damage, but she does damage to all enemies. We've got something like Dimetraxia, there she is, does scatter damage, but there's 75% chance to burn all the enemies, and a burning troop takes 3 damage every turn. So burning is even more powerful than poison. The difference is that burning can wear off, poison can't. And so Dimetraxia not only does damage to all enemies, but she also burns them, so that makes her really useful. Then and of course the poisoners, like the Bone Scorpion. We've got the ones with the boost ratios, and the boost ratios can be huge. One that is very powerful in Arena is the Lapina Explorer. He destroys a row and column, and this is what he does, but he's going to do damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by green gems destroyed. And since you're doing a row and a column with a boost ratio of 4, you might be able to get a ton of damage off of him with that ×4 boost ratio. I rarely have seen the Lapina Explorer lose when I've been using him in Arena. Another one that's really good, I can't remember how to spell it, hold on. Oh, that's right. Zephyros is excellent, because he's going to destroy a column, so just across, but he has a ×10 boost ratio on any yellow gems that he hits, so he is really powerful in there. Another type of troop that you can have in here are the troop buffers, the ones that add to your troops, such as the Clockwork Sphinx. She destroys gems of a chosen color, gives all allies armor boosted by the gems destroyed. There's a 3-to-1 ratio on it, but you pick the one that has the most mana, and if you happen to have lots of brown and or purple on the board, just pick brown or purple. You'll fill her right back up, and you can just keep casting with her and buffing your troops. Really, really excellent for that purpose. Clockwork Knight, he only buffs himself, but he also creates yellow for the team, which can go right back into himself. Another really great one that you can use is the Royal Engineer. And the Royal Engineer gives armor to all allies, and he summons, so you stick him at the back of your team, and you just sit there and you keep buffing your troops and summoning if any of them die. So he is super powerful in Arena. Then we have the troops that do extra damage to a certain color. I got into this one earlier, within the last 2 days myself. Both the Bullygnoll and the Bullygnoll and the Gnoll will do extra damage. Now this guy has a 50% chance to hit the wrong enemy, but if they use red, he does triple damage. And if they die, he gets 16 attack. That's crazy. So that's really excellent for Arena especially. And the Gnoll, he also has a chance to hit the wrong enemy, but if they use brown, he deals triple damage. There are multiples of this type of thing in Arena that you can get a hold of. Another one would be something a little different is Sister Ebony. And she's going to do damage to 2 enemies, the first and last. And then if either one of them uses blue, she's going to do double damage to both of them. So she is great in Arena as well. Another type of troop that you can come across in here are the Charmers. So you get into the Charmers like the Bunnycorn, who can feed mana to your team, and he charms them. He makes them attack their own troops. And if you hit, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If you hit either the second or the third troop, it's going to attack troops on both sides of it. So you can hit 2 at a time. Incubus can do that as well. Probably the best, well, Drago's really good too. He also creates gems. But probably the best for Arena as far as charming goes is the Wisp. And the reason why is because, first of all, he's going to, if they're barriered, he's going to remove all of their positive status effects. He's going to charm a random enemy, and he's going to jumble the board and get an extra turn. And so he may jumble up the board and put together some Doom Skulls so that you can hit them with those skulls with that extra turn. So Wisp is excellent in Arena. Then we have the tanks. So I already mentioned the Clockwork Knight. Another one that is really great is the Wild Knight. And he explodes a gem. And if you want to explode it by green gems, and that's going to have a boost ratio of 3, so you'll get an extra 3 armor for every green gem that you destroy. And when you explode, it's the gem and all of the gems around it. So I think that's 8 gems that are removed at once. So you have lots of chances to get green in there. The next category we have are the Summoners. And the Summoners are things like the Egg Thief. And the Egg Thief is going to destroy gems that gets mana for your team. Of course, at low level, she doesn't destroy very many, but she does summon dragon eggs. And the dragon eggs, if you've been in Arena, you know how irritating it is to have a summoner in there. And it's just a great way to protect your other teammates so that you have time to destroy the other team. Egg Thief is just one example of what you can get in there. Another one that I would never usually think of using is Princess Elspeth. Princess Elspeth, now she won't be empowered because no traits in Arena, but she creates 11 gems of a chosen ally's mana color and kills them and summons a knight in their place. I used her earlier, and yeah, she summoned Guard's Avatar. That was one of the ones that she summoned for me. They can summon in Mythics. The problem with Arena and Mythics is that it's really difficult to get mana for them. But the summons, you know, if you don't have a great team, kill something. Have her summon in something else. It might help you. Of course, on the next round, you'll go back to having your regular team. It's not like delving that way. So, all right, next category, last category is true damage. True damage is another one that's really, really useful in Arena, and I've already mentioned some of that, but let's see, the Marilith is great. Marilith does a set 6 true damage to all enemies, and she's going to destroy some gems. Not very many at Arena level, but she will destroy some, and she gains 6 attack, making her good to have towards the front of the team. So 6 true damage, you manage to get her mana a couple of times, and it's over. It's just done. And then there's also the Mist Stalker, can be really useful in there. I've been killed by him enough times to know that he can be pretty dangerous. Plus he poisons, which makes him extra useful. So basically just try to balance out your teams so that you have different types of troops. Don't have all of one type of troop. So you don't want to have all of them healing, because how are you going to attack if all of them are doing healing? Or you don't want somebody that's only summoning or only doing one thing. Try to move things around if you can and pick things that are going to work well together and not mana block each other unless you just have to. So I hope that this has been helpful. I've got a ton of information in the description box for you below. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye!